Let me tell you something. Every family, yours, mine, all of ours, has a story. A story of triumphs, yes, but more often a story of struggles, generational struggles. Stories where the main character fights against the odds, the system, and even self-doubt. But here's the question I want you to think about. What if you were the one chosen to rewrite that story? What if you were the one who could shatter the glass ceiling of financial hardship and create a new legacy for your family? And never, ever, ever accept the limitations of the future and allow your mindset to control and limit you, whether you realize it or not. Let me ask you this, do you feel the weight of it? That burden, that responsibility to not only live for yourself, but to rise for your family? Because here's the truth. The one who breaks the chain isn't born extraordinary, they're born just like everyone else. The difference? They decide. They decide that the struggle ends with them. Every family carries a legacy, a story passed down through generations. Some of these stories are of triumph, of dreams fulfilled and opportunities seized. But for many, the legacy is one of struggle, a battle against financial limitations, unfulfilled potential, and dreams deferred. This struggle often becomes woven into the fabric of family identity, almost like an inheritance no one asked for but everyone feels. It's the weight of working hard yet barely making it, of sacrifices that sometimes feel like they lead nowhere. It's the challenge of merely trusting that something greater long-term is afoot. But here's the thing. This legacy, as heavy as it may seem, is not unchangeable. It's not written in stone. The story doesn't have to end the same way it started. Every family, no matter how humble or how dire their circumstances, has within it the potential for transformation. And that transformation begins with one person, one individual willing to rise above the expectations, the circumstances, and even the doubts of those around them. Someone who sees the struggle not as a permanent condition, but as a challenge to overcome. This isn't about blame or guilt. It's about realizing the power you hold to be the turning point in your family's story. The one who turns a history of hardship into a legacy of success and opportunity. Change is possible, but it requires someone to step up and say, it's going to be me. Could that someone be you? There's an undeniable truth in life. Change starts with one person. In every family, no matter how deeply rooted the struggles may seem, there is always the potential for someone to rise and break the cycle. It doesn't happen by accident or coincidence. It happens because one person decides to be different, to think differently, and to act differently. Breaking the chain of generational struggle is not a role handed to you, it's a role you choose. It's about stepping into the unknown, taking on the challenges that others might shy away from, and becoming the architect of a new future. This is not a small task, and it's not for the faint of heart. But when one person has the courage to say, this ends with me, they set into motion a ripple effect that can transform not just their life, but the lives of everyone around them. It's not just about earning more money or achieving personal success. It's about changing the mindset of what's possible for your family. It's about showing the next generation that they don't have to carry the same burdens, that they can dream bigger and achieve more because someone before them dared to be the difference. You may not see the results overnight, and the journey will test you in ways you can't imagine, but the reward is immeasurable. By choosing to break the chain, you become the foundation of a new legacy, a legacy of hope, opportunity, and resilience. Every family needs that one person to step up. Could that person be you? The weight of responsibility to change a family's future is immense, and not everyone is prepared to carry it. It's not a burden that's assigned. It's one that's taken on willingly, often out of necessity. When you look at your family and see the struggles that have persisted for years, financial hardships, missed opportunities, and dreams left unfulfilled, you feel it. That weight presses down on you, whispering that something has to change. And deep down, you know it might be up to you. This responsibility is not easy to bear. It's a calling that demands more than just effort. It requires sacrifice, resilience, and an unwavering belief that better is possible. It means stepping into uncharted territory, taking risks that others may not understand, and often standing alone in your pursuit of something greater. It's about making decisions that might not bring immediate rewards, but will lay the groundwork for future generations. Carrying this responsibility also means dealing with the doubts, both your own and those of others. People might question your choices, your ambitions, and your belief that you can change what feels unchangeable. But the truth is, every breakthrough begins with someone willing to stand in the gap, to carry the weight of the struggle and turn it into a ladder towards something better. You don't choose this path because it's easy, you choose it because it's necessary. Because the thought of your family continuing to struggle is harder to bear than the weight of the responsibility itself. And when you step into that role, you don't just carry the weight, you begin to transform it into something lighter for everyone who comes after you. When you decide to take on the challenge of breaking your family's financial struggles, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the lives of generations yet to come. The impact of your efforts extends far beyond what you might see in your lifetime. It's the kind of change that ripples through time, altering the trajectory of your family's story in ways that are both profound and lasting. Imagine this: the opportunities you fight for today become the foundation for your children's dreams tomorrow. The education you prioritize, the habits you instill, the sacrifices you make, they all create a new standard for what is possible. No longer will your family's story be one of limitations and missed chances. Instead, it becomes a story of growth, resilience, and achievement. This generational impact isn't just about wealth, it's about mindset, it's about teaching future generations to think bigger, dream bolder, and understand that they are not defined by their circumstances. By breaking the chain, you give your family a gift far more valuable than money. You give them the belief that they can achieve anything. The ripple effect of your actions might start small, but over time it grows. The lessons you learn and pass down, the example you set, and the legacy you leave behind will inspire not just your immediate family, but even those who come after them. You might be the first in your family to break free from financial hardship, but you won't be the last. By rising above, you ensure that others have a foundation to build upon, creating a cycle of success that replaces the cycle of struggle. This is the power of generational impact. It's not just about you, it's about everyone who comes after you. And it starts with your decision to be the one who changes everything. To break free from a cycle of struggle, it all starts with a vision. Visionary thinking is the ability to see beyond the present circumstances, beyond the challenges and limitations that surround you. It's about imagining a future that looks nothing like the past, a future where opportunities are abundant, success feels attainable, and struggles become lessons, not lifestyles. Having a vision means daring to dream of what's possible even when your current reality makes it seem impossible. It's about painting a picture in your mind of a life where your family no longer lives paycheck to paycheck, where your children grow up with options instead of obstacles, and where the word struggle is replaced with opportunity. But vision isn't just about dreaming, it's about planning. A vision gives you a direction, a reason to push forward when the road gets tough. It becomes the compass that guides your decisions, reminding you of what you're working toward when the present feels overwhelming. Visionary thinking means asking yourself, What do I want my family's life to look like in 10, 20, or even 50 years? What steps can I take today to make that vision a reality? It's also about showing others what they can't yet see. Your family may not immediately understand your goals or support your ambitions. They might be too accustomed to the current way of life to believe in something different. But your vision has the power to inspire. When they see you moving forward, staying focused and refusing to give up, they'll begin to believe in that future too. Visionary thinking isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. It requires courage, imagination, and determination. It asks you to look at your circumstances not as limitations, but as starting points. And it demands that you hold on to your vision, even when progress feels slow. Because that vision, the one you believe in, is the seed that grows into the legacy you'll leave behind. Hardship is a universal experience, but the way you respond to it defines your journey. For those who rise to break the financial struggles of their family, hardship becomes more than just a challenge. It becomes fuel. The adversity you face today, the setbacks that seem insurmountable, and the struggles that weigh on you can either break you or build you. The choice is yours. When you embrace hardship as fuel, you stop seeing it as an enemy and start recognizing it as a teacher. Struggles reveal your strength, push you to innovate, and teach you resilience. They force you to think creatively, work smarter, and dig deeper than you ever thought possible. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to grow, and every failure becomes a lesson that brings you closer to success. Think about the greats, the people who have risen from nothing to build extraordinary lives. What they all have in common is their ability to turn pain into power. Instead of running from their hardships, they face them head on. They use the adversity in their lives to drive them forward, to sharpen their focus, and to deepen their resolve. Their struggles didn't hold them back. They propelled them to new heights. The truth is, struggle builds character. It gives you a perspective that no amount of privilege or ease can offer. When you've been at the bottom, you understand the value of every step upward. You become more determined, more grateful, and more aware of what's at stake, not just for you, but for your family and the generations to come. It determines you to become more patient, more compassionate, more forgiving, more grateful, and more aware of what's at stake. Not just for you, but for you. Hardship isn't the end of the road. It's the beginning of transformation. It's the fuel that ignites the fire within you to break the cycle, to rise above the limitations that others accept as permanent. So don't fear the struggle, embrace it. Use it. Let it become the force that pushes you to create the life you've always envisioned. For yourself and for everyone who depends on you to lead the way. The journey to break your family's financial struggles is paved with sacrifices, and there's no way around it. Great achievements demand great discipline and an ability to prioritize long-term goals over immediate gratification. Sacrifice is the price you pay to rewrite the story of your family. And while it's never easy, it's always worth it. When you decide to be the one to change everything, sacrifices will become a part of your everyday life. You may have to give up nights out, new gadgets, or vacations so you can save, invest, or build your skills. You may need to work longer hours or juggle multiple responsibilities while others around you seem to enjoy life's comforts. These moments can feel isolating, even unfair, but they are the seeds of a brighter future. Sacrifice also means stepping out of your comfort zone. It might require turning down short-term opportunities that offer instant rewards in favor of pursuing long-term goals that promise lasting change. It's about choosing to live a disciplined life even when no one else sees the effort you're putting in. It's about making tough decisions, like putting your education or career ahead of distractions, or working tirelessly to build something your family can rely on for years to come. But here's the key. Sacrifice is temporary, and its rewards are generational. The late nights, the missed luxuries, and the hard choices you make now are not just for you, they're for the future you're building. Every sacrifice you make is an investment in a legacy that will serve not just your life, but the lives of your children and grandchildren. Sacrifice also teaches you the value of what you're working toward. When you give up something in the present, you gain an appreciation for the fruits of your labor in the future. It builds strength, character, and an unshakable belief that you're capable of achieving greatness. And when the results finally come, when you see your family thriving and living a life free from struggle, you'll know that every sacrifice was worth it. Adversity is often viewed as a roadblock, something to avoid or fear. But for those who are determined to change their family's financial future, adversity becomes a source of inspiration. Struggling through tough times doesn't just test your limits, it reveals your true strength and capacity for growth. In fact, the challenges you face today can serve as the very inspiration for a better tomorrow. And it's in the toughest moments that your resolve is truly tested. When you're up against the wall and it feels like there's no way forward, that's when the most powerful shifts happen. Adversity forces you to think in ways you've never had to before. It pushes you out of your comfort zone and demands that you find solutions. Be resourceful and keep moving forward despite the obstacles in your path. This is where the seeds of success are planted. But even more than that, adversity gives you something precious: perspective. When you experience hardship, you begin to see life through a different lens. You realize what truly matters, the things that money can't buy: your family, your health, your faith, and your determination. It's in these moments that you discover the strength within you to keep going, even when it feels like everything is stacked against you. The beauty of adversity is that it doesn't just affect you, it can inspire others. Your ability to persevere through difficult times can serve as a beacon of hope for others in your family, in your community, and even for those who are just starting their own journeys. When others see you rise from struggle, they see that it's possible for them too. Your resilience becomes the spark that ignites a collective fire of determination and growth, creating a ripple effect that spreads far beyond just your own life. And there is so much beauty in life that we have to see as such in the midst of our sufferings. In many ways, the adversity you face today is a powerful tool for your future. It teaches you lessons about perseverance, patience, and hard work. It builds your character and shapes your mindset in ways that comfort and ease never could. And when you look back on this time, you won't remember just the hardship. You'll remember how it fueled your growth, how it inspired you to rise above, and how it ultimately led to your breakthrough. Adversity doesn't define you unless you let it. Instead, it can be the driving force behind your greatest achievements. When you see it not as an obstacle, but as a stepping stone, it becomes a powerful motivator that will push you to break free from the financial struggles of the past and create a new future for yourself and your family. At some point, each of us faces a moment of reckoning. We realize that the life we have isn't the one we want, and the circumstances we're living under won't change unless we take responsibility for them. Taking ownership means fully acknowledging where you are, no longer blaming your environment, your upbringing, or your situation for the challenges you face. It means accepting that the power to change your life, your family's future, and your financial circumstances lie squarely in your hands. Too often we fall into the trap of playing the victim, believing that our circumstances are too strong, too set, or too permanent to overcome. But when you take ownership, you stop seeing yourself as powerless. Instead, you recognize that you are the one who holds the keys to change. You understand that while you can't control everything, you can control your decisions, your mindset, and your actions. Taking ownership doesn't mean ignoring the hardships that may have shaped your past, but it does mean taking responsibility for how you respond to them. It means choosing to break the cycle rather than be defined by it. You may not have chosen your family's struggles, but you have the power to choose what you do next. It's a hard truth, but it's one that will empower you to take the first steps toward a new reality. When you own your life, you stop making excuses. You stop waiting for someone else to save you, and you begin doing the work yourself. It means showing up even when it's tough and doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Ownership is the mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities and challenges into lessons. It's the fuel that drives you to keep pushing forward, even when the road is long and uncertain. Wholeheartedly. Taking ownership is also about breaking free from the negativity that can often surround us. When you take full responsibility for your future, you stop blaming others for your situation. You recognize that while the past may have shaped who you are, it doesn't dictate who you can become. It gives you the freedom to take control and to create a life that reflects your true potential. Once you fully embrace ownership, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll stop seeing yourself as a product of your circumstances and begin to see yourself as the creator of your own destiny. You'll understand that the challenges you face are merely stepping stones on the way to something greater. And by taking responsibility for your life, you'll not only break the financial struggle in your family, you'll create a legacy of empowerment that inspires future generations to do the same. Faith and focus are two of the most powerful forces that will propel you forward when you're striving to break free from financial struggles. Faith, in this context, isn't just about religion. It's about believing in yourself, in your ability to overcome obstacles, and in the vision you have for your family's future. Focus is the discipline to stay true to that vision, even when distractions and challenges threaten to pull you off course. Together, these two forces are essential to achieving greatness, especially when it feels like the road is impossibly long. Faith is a foundation that gives you the courage to take the first step. It's the belief that, despite the struggles and setbacks, you are capable of achieving something greater. When you face financial hardship, it's easy to doubt your abilities, to question whether things will ever change, and to lose hope in the face of repeated failure. But faith reminds you that change is possible, and it encourages you to keep moving forward even when the path seems unclear. Faith isn't a passive feeling, it's an active choice. It means choosing to believe in the possibility of a better future every day, even when things seem bleak. It's about trusting that your hard work, your sacrifices, and your determination will eventually pay off. And most importantly, it's about believing in your ability to create that future, regardless of where you start or how many obstacles are in your way. Focus, on the other hand, is the discipline required to make that belief a reality. It's about narrowing your attention to the things that truly matter and blocking out the noise that tries to distract you from your goals. Focus is the ability to stay committed to your vision even when the world around you tries to pull you in different directions. In a world full of distractions, staying focused on your path is the key to achieving long-term success. Having focus means setting clear goals, creating a plan, and sticking to it, even when you face setbacks or when it seems easier to abandon your efforts. It's about being intentional with your time and energy, making decisions that align with your ultimate vision. Without focus, the distractions of life will sidetrack you, and the momentum needed to achieve your goals will be lost. With focus, even the most daunting challenge becomes manageable because you're only concerned with what's directly in front of you. Faith and focus work hand in hand. Faith gives you the belief in yourself and your vision, and focus gives you the tools to keep that vision in sight. Together, they form the foundation for breaking free from the cycle of financial struggle. Every step you take toward a better future is powered by the faith you have in your potential and the focus you apply to your journey. So whenever the road gets tough or the doubts creep in, lean on your faith and stay focused. Your vision is within reach, and every ounce of effort you put in will bring you closer to it. In the pursuit of breaking free from financial struggles, it's important to understand that true growth often requires stepping outside of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when you stay in familiar territory, when you keep doing the same things, and when you avoid taking risks. The moment you step outside the safe boundaries you've created for yourself is when the real transformation begins. Growth is uncomfortable, challenging, and sometimes even painful, but it is always necessary for creating lasting change. When you're comfortable, you stop growing. You stop pushing yourself to do more, to think differently, and to challenge the limits you've set for yourself. Growth only happens when you're willing to confront your fears, to tackle the unknown, and to stretch yourself beyond what you think is possible. It's in these moments of discomfort that you discover your true potential, your untapped strength, and the ability to achieve things you never thought were possible. Stepping out of your comfort zone means taking risks that feel uncertain. It means being willing to fail, knowing that failure isn't a permanent state, but a lesson on the way to success. It means trying new things, whether that's learning new skills, starting a side business, or taking on a leadership role. Each risk you take, each new challenge you embrace, is an opportunity to grow, and while the process can feel overwhelming at times, the rewards are immeasurable. Growth requires vulnerability. It means acknowledging that you don't have all the answers, that you might not know everything, and that it's okay to ask for help. When you step outside your comfort zone, you put yourself in a position to learn and grow, but that also requires a willingness to admit that you don't have it all figured out. This vulnerability opens up doors for new opportunities, new insights, and new connections. The process of growth isn't linear. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and moments where you feel like you're not making progress. But it's important to remember that every misstep is part of the process. Every failure, every challenge, and every uncomfortable moment is pushing you to become a better, more resilient version of yourself. Growth doesn't happen by playing it safe. It happens when you take the leap, when you challenge your own assumptions, and when you trust in your ability to adapt and learn along the way. So if you're serious about changing the financial future of your family, understand that it will require a willingness to grow in ways you may not be used to. Growth may feel like a struggle at times, but it is the path to success. You can't expect to change your circumstances if you're unwilling to change yourself. And in the end, the person you become through this growth will be the one who leads your family into a new future. One that's not defined by struggle, but by opportunity, possibility, and success. So if your dream's crystal clear on where you want to be 3 to 5 years from now, I promise you that life will lead you there as fast as you can imagine it. In your quest to break free from financial struggle, the importance of persistence cannot be overstated. The road to success is rarely smooth, and it's not the one who faces the most challenges who ultimately wins. It's the one who refuses to quit. Persistence is the quality that keeps you going when others might give up, the strength to keep moving forward despite the setbacks, the failures, and the doubt that may creep in. Every successful person you admire has encountered obstacles along the way. Some have faced incredible adversity, rejection, and hardship. But the common thread among all of them is persistence. It's the unwavering commitment to keep trying no matter how difficult the path may seem. Persistence isn't about avoiding failure. It's about having the resilience to bounce back after each failure, to learn from each mistake, and to use those experiences as stepping stones toward your ultimate goal. When you persist, you're making a statement that you will not be deterred by the challenges that come your way. You acknowledge the difficulties, but you don't let them define you or dictate your future. You keep going, even when it feels like your efforts are going unnoticed or that success is just out of reach. Persistence is what transforms small efforts into monumental achievements over time. And it is what turns the impossible into the possible. It's easy to be motivated at the start, to feel energized and inspired when you first set your goals. But true growth comes from continuing to push forward even when that initial enthusiasm fades. Persistence requires you to stay the course when progress is slow and the rewards are not immediate. It's about doing the hard work when it feels like no one is watching and staying committed when the results aren't obvious. Persistence also demands adaptability. It's not about sticking rigidly to one plan, but about being flexible enough to adjust your approach when necessary. If one strategy isn't working, persistence means trying something different, learning from what didn't work, and never losing sight of your vision. Persistence doesn't mean blindly continuing in the same direction despite evidence that it isn't working. Instead, it's the determination to keep going while remaining open to new ideas, methods, and paths that may lead to your success. This quality is especially important when breaking generational cycles of struggle. The road will often feel lonely, and the weight of responsibility will be heavy. But persistence is what allows you to weather the storm and make the breakthroughs necessary to change your family's financial future. It is persistence that will ultimately allow you to create the life you've envisioned, not just for yourself, but for the generations to come. Persistence means understanding that success is not immediate. It's earned, bit by bit over time. Every setback, every challenge, and every obstacle is part of your journey, and with each one, you become stronger, smarter, and more equipped to keep going. As long as you persist, there is always hope, always possibility, and always a path forward. The journey to breaking free from financial struggle is not a solitary one. Along the way, you will encounter people who either help you or hinder you. The importance of surrounding yourself with the right people cannot be overstated. Your environment plays a critical role in your ability to succeed, and the people you choose to surround yourself with have a direct influence on your mindset, your motivation, and your capacity to achieve your goals. When you're focused on breaking the cycle of financial struggle, it's essential to build a support system that aligns with your values, goals, and vision. These are the people who will encourage you during moments of doubt, challenge you to grow, and hold you accountable when you lose your way. They might be family members, friends, mentors, or colleagues. People who believe in you and your ability to achieve greatness, even when you don't fully believe it yourself. But just as important as having the right people in your corner is knowing who to distance yourself from. Negative influences, people who doubt your potential, who discourage you from dreaming bigger, or who stay stuck in the same old habits, can keep you trapped in a cycle of stagnation. The people around you can either lift you up or hold you back. And you have the power to choose which voices to listen to. Positive, supportive relationships create a sense of accountability. When you surround yourself with people who are on the same journey as you, or who have already achieved the success you're striving for, you begin to adopt their mindset and behaviors. They inspire you to push harder, to be more focused, and to stay disciplined in your pursuit of success. Their success becomes a blueprint for your own, and their belief in you strengthens your own self-belief. Mentors are particularly powerful in this process. A mentor is someone who has walked the path before you and can offer guidance, wisdom, and insights that will save you time, energy, and effort. They can help you avoid common mistakes, provide you with valuable connections, and push you to achieve things you may not have thought possible. A mentor doesn't just show you the way, they show you the way forward with the confidence that you too can reach the same heights. A mentor will help you avoid with the confidence that you too can reach the same heights. Equally, by building relationships with others who share your ambitions, you create a network of support that motivates you on the tough days. Being part of a community of like-minded individuals fosters a sense of camaraderie, shared purpose, and collective strength. These people are not just cheering for your success. They're contributing to it, offering advice, sharing resources, and helping you stay on track. They're contributing to it, offering advice, sharing resources, and helping you stay on track. On the flip side, it's also crucial to recognize when certain relationships are no longer serving your growth. Sometimes the people closest to us may inadvertently drag us back into old habits, discouraging us from pushing beyond the status quo. It's important to set boundaries and protect your vision. You might have to make tough decisions about who you allow to stay in your inner circle. Cutting toxic or negative relationships is not about abandoning people. It's about protecting your energy and keeping your focus clear. Ultimately, the people you surround yourself with have the power to influence the course of your life. They can either keep you stuck or help you soar. The right relationships built on mutual respect, support, and shared growth are a priceless asset on your journey. And remember, this is not just about receiving support, it's also about giving it. Be the person who lifts others up, who encourages growth, and who plays an active role in your network's success. The energy you put into others will always come back to you, amplifying your efforts and solidifying the community you need to achieve your goals.